I don't know if you guys can see this stain on my sweater, but if you can, ignore it, okay? The sweater is very cozy and I don't want to change, so we're just going to ignore that stain for now. But I'm super excited because I've been wanting to film today's video for a hot minute. I just have never really gotten around to it. But today I will be sharing the best books I've read according to Goodreads. Before we dive too deep into this video, I do have to make a disclaimer. I've only started using Goodreads this year. Prior to this year and prior to me like becoming a booktuber, I guess, I never even knew Goodreads existed, if I'm being honest. So this may not be the most accurate list, but I still thought it would be fun to go through my Goodreads and share the highest rated books that I've read, again according to people on Goodreads. But let me go to my Goodreads app, go to my books. I'm gonna sort it by average rating and then have the highest rating on top. I mean, I've read a good number of books this year. I'm at 92 books, so even though this is my first year using Goodreads, I still feel like it's going to be semi-accurate. I don't know, that's what I keep telling myself. But the first book that I've read that has the highest rating on Goodreads is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. So this is the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, which I absolutely love. The average rating for this book is 4.62 and I gave it a 4-star rating, so I agree with the average rating. Definitely one of my favorite books in the entire series. This is the book that made me fall in love with Reese. I adore him. I have kind of been itching to reread that series, but there are so many other books that I need to get through. That's the only reason I haven't read that series again, because I honestly miss it and I want to reread it. Like, it was so freaking good. So if you haven't read the ACOTAR series, definitely read it because you're missing out. The next highest rated book is Hush Little Girl. It's the 11th book in the Detective Josie Quinn series by Lisa Reagan. The average rating is 4.56 stars. I gave it a 4-star rating, so again, absolutely agree with this rating. I've talked about the Detective Josie Quinn series a lot on my channel. It's literally probably one of my favorite like detective murder mystery series of all time. I absolutely love every single character portrayed in that series. If you're into crime, again, murder mystery, detective problem solving types of books, definitely check this series out. I feel like it's very underrated because I don't hear a lot of people talking about this series, and I kind of stumbled upon it by chance one day before I even started uploading videos about books on YouTube. It's so good. There's so many different layers in each book, so much character development for every character. Again, just read it, so freaking good. So I definitely agree with that. And then the third highest rated book is Breathe Your Last, again by Lisa Reagan. This is the 10th book in the Josie Quinn series. The average rating for that is a 4.53. I gave it a 3-star rating. I honestly can't remember why I gave it 3 stars. I did rate it below the average rating. And then the book after that one is Reminders of Him by the Queen, Miss Colleen Hoover. The average rating for that book is 4.52 and I rated it a 4-star rating. So I'm right there with the rest of you guys on Goodreads. This book tore my heart in a million different pieces. I cried so much while reading this book. My heart broke for absolutely everyone in this story. If you haven't read Reminders of Him, pick it up right away and read it. You're definitely going to need a box of tissues while reading this book because it's so sad, and it just has a great message in the book regarding grief and moving on. It's definitely one of my fave books by Colleen Hoover. So again, right there with you, Goodreads. And then the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books are all part of the Detective Josie Quinn series. Number 13 has an average rating of 4.51. I rated it a 4-star rating, so very accurate. And the next one is the Detective Josie Quinn number 12 book. The average rating is 4.50. I rated it a 4. The next book is the 8th book in the series with a 4.50 average rating. I rated a 4-star rating. And then the 3rd book in the series has an average rating of 4.48. I gave gave that book a 5-star rating. Absolutely love that book. It's one of my fave books in the entire series. And then the 4th and 6th book in the series has an average rating of 4.45 stars, and I gave both books a 4-star rating. So again, I pretty much agree. The next highest rated book on my Goodreads is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. The average rating for this is 444. Angel numbers, love that. I gave it a 5-star rating, so I loved it more than the average reader on Goodreads. It's one of my all-time favorite books. Absolutely recommend it. I always recommend this book, honestly. You guys are probably sick and tired of me talking about this book. So I kind of disagree with Goodreads here, because I feel like it definitely should have a higher rating, but an average rating of 4.44 is actually not that bad. So most people really enjoy that book. The next book on this list is A Court of Wings and Ruin. This is the 3rd book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. The average rating for this book is 4.43. I rated it 4 stars. I really enjoy this book, but it definitely wasn't as romance heavy as the first 2 books in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. It was more focused on war, but I still very much enjoyed it. So I kind of agree with the average rating on this one. The next book, which is my all-time favorite book by Colleen Hoover, is Verity. I absolutely love this book. I gave it a 5-star rating, but the average rating is trying me right now. The average rating is only 4.42, which is, again, is not bad at all. Like, that's a pretty good rating. But honestly, if you didn't rate that book 5 stars, what are you doing? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't trust you. That book was so good. It was such a mindfuck, if I'm being honest, especially when I got to the ending. If I had to read one book for the rest of my life, I'd probably read that one. I just really enjoyed it. The next book is another Detective Josie Quinn book. Guys, these books are highly rated on Goodreads. So me telling you to go check out those books is not convincing enough. The fact that the Detective Josie Quinn books are highly rated on Goodreads should convince you to go pick these books up and read them. Like, they're so good. The average rating for the 7th book in the Detective Josie Quinn series is a 4.41, and I rated it 4 stars, so I agree. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. The average rating for this book is 4.39. I rated it a 4 stars. You see that? Verity is rated higher than It Ends With Us, and I feel like It Ends With Us gets all the hype. Like, come on, Colleen Hoover has so many other good books out there. Her other books deserve as much hype as It Ends With Us. I rated It Ends With Us 4 stars, and again, the average rating is 4.39, so I kind of agree with Goodreads on this one. I definitely would like to reread It Ends With Us again to see if I still rate it 4 stars. It was the first Colleen Hoover book that I've read, but I've read almost all of her books at this point, and I feel like a lot of her books are way better than It Ends With Us. So I'm interested to see if I were to reread It Ends With Us, would I still give it 4 stars, or would I give it a lower rating now that I'm more, like, I guess, experienced with Colleen Hoover's writing and I have had a chance to read the rest of her books? Something tells me that I wouldn't give it 4 stars a second time around. I don't know. Maybe I would. The next book on this list is the 5th book of the Detective Josie Quinn series. You guys, go read the series. The average rating for this book is 4.38, and I gave it a 4-star rating, so I'm right there with you, Goodreads. The next book on this list, which I was shocked with the high rating for this book because I really did not enjoy it all that much. It is The Queen of Nothing, the 3rd book in the Folk of the Air series. So the average rating for this book is 4.37. I rated it 3 stars, and that was me being nice. I just did not enjoy the Folk of the Air series at all, especially after reading the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. The Folk of the Air series just didn't do it for me. It was a little too YA for me, a little too safe. I was expecting more, and I was expecting a lot more romance, which I feel wasn't really the main focus of this series, if I'm being honest. And the main character, Jude, annoyed the hell out of me. So I disagree with the average rating. I think the average average rating should be a lot lower, but that's just me. The next book on this list is A Good Girl, Bad Blood, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Book 2. The average rating for this book is 4.37. I rated it a 4 stars, so I definitely agree. The book right below that one is the first book, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Average rating is 4.37. I have to disagree. I gave that book a 3-star rating. I almost didn't continue the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series because I really did not enjoy the first book all that much, but because so many of you guys were like, Carmen, you need to continue the series, it gets better, I promise. I read the second book and I absolutely loved it, but the first book just did not do it for me, so I don't agree with this average rating at all. A lot of you guys are probably going to hate me for this one, but the next book is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. The average rating for this book is 4.35. Again, I have no idea why. My rating for this book was 3 stars, and I was being very generous. I don't remember much about that book aside from the fact that I did not like the characters and I did not enjoy it. But before you come for me, because I know that this book has a lot of fans, in my defense, I read this book before I realized that I just hate the friends to lovers trope. So I think if you really love friends to lovers, then you'll absolutely love this book. But if you're like me and you hate that trope with a burning passion, you're not going to enjoy this book at all. So I disagree with the average rating, if I'm being honest. The next average rating is 4.35 for Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. I disagree with this rating because I gave Heartbones a 3-star rating. Not my fave Colleen Hoover book by any means. The Wicked King, which is the second book in the Folk of the Air series, the average rating is 4.34. I don't understand how this series has such a high rating. I gave it 3 stars, and again, I was being very generous. Whenever I don't like a book, I try to be as generous as possible. I don't know, maybe I'm just too nice, but I really did not enjoy that book. It wasn't horrible. I've read worse, but I gave it a 3 stars, so don't agree with Goodreads at all with that one. And the next book is another Colleen Hoover book, November 9. The average rating for that is 4.29. I gave it a 3 stars. This is another Colleen Hoover book that I really did not enjoy, and I don't get the hype behind this book at all, but I do know that a lot of people enjoy it. So if you enjoy it, power to you. But if you're like me and you're like meh, then we see eye to eye. This next one breaks my heart because I think it deserves a way higher rating than a 4.29. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood deserves a way higher average rating. Like 4.29, that's it? That book has me in a chokehold. Like, I absolutely love it. I actually might change my rating from 4 stars to 5 stars. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm changing it because I absolutely loved that book so much, and I still recommend it till this day, and I'm never going to get tired of recommending this book. So I don't understand the 4.29. Like, it should be like 4.5 average rating, 4.6, 4.7. Like, you get it. It deserves all the hype. Book Lovers by Emily Henry is the next one with an average rating of 4.29. Again, I don't get it. I did give it a 4-star rating, but I definitely think it deserves a higher average rating. Same thing with Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. It has an average rating of 4.29. I gave it a 4-star rating, but it definitely deserves a higher average rating. Let's see what else is on here. Okay, I think I'm going to go up to 4.20 for average rating and then end off this video because I don't want this video to be super long. The next highest rated book on my Goodreads list is the second book in the Detective Josie Quinn series. I literally have read the entire series minus like 2 books. This one has an average rating of 4.28. I disagree because I gave this book a 5-star rating. I thought it was absolutely perfect, no complaints, but I guess Goodreads disagrees with me. Next book is The Deal, which is the first book in the Off-Campus series. I cannot believe that this book only has a 4.27 average rating. Like, it deserves a way higher average rating. I gave it a 4 stars, but honestly, I probably should change that to a 5-star rating as well because I absolutely adore that book. The next book is The Hawthorne Legacy, which is the second book in the Inheritance Game series. It has an average rating of 4.26. I give it a 4-star rating. I kind of agree with that average rating, so I'm not too upset with that. The next book is A Point of Retreat, which is the second book in the Slam series by Colleen Hoover. I feel like the Slam series is such an underrated Colleen Hoover book. I don't see a lot of people talking about it. I know that it's a little controversial. Some people don't really like the love story. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I I love the two main characters. I love the love story, so I'm not upset about it. The average rating is 4.24. I gave it a 4-star rating, so I guess I agree with Goodreads. The next book is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It has an average rating of 4.23. I rated it 4 stars, so agree, no complaints. This next one I disagree with. Slammed by Colleen Hoover, which is the first book in the Slam series, in case you don't know. I rated that book 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. Thought it was perfection. No complaints. The average rating on Goodreads for that one is 4.22. Highly disagree. Like, what's going on Goodreads? The book below that one is Ugly Love with a 4.22 rating as well. I actually really enjoyed this book. I rated it 4 stars. It's by Colleen Hoover. It's definitely one of her more popular books. I haven't really seen too many people talk badly about Ugly Love. And then we have The Score, which is the 3rd book in the off-campus series. I gave this book 3 stars. It's definitely not my fave book by any means from the off-campus series. I feel like the books got gradually worse as the series progressed. The first book, The Deal, is definitely the best one in my opinion, but the average rating for The Score is 4.21. Again, I gave it a 3 stars, so I disagree. I definitely think it should be lower, but that's just me. And then the final book that I'm going to include in this list is Confess. It has an average rating of 4.20. I gave it a 3-star rating. Definitely my least, well, no, Maybe Someday is my least favorite Colleen Hoover book, but Confess is right there with Maybe Someday because I just didn't really enjoy Confess at all. I just thought it was boring. It didn't really have the addicting element of other books by Colleen Hoover, so I kind of disagree with that rating. I think it should be lower, but you know what, to each their own. I feel like Confess is another book that a lot of people love. Not everyone's going to agree with me on that one. So those are the highest rated books that I've read according to Goodreads. Let me know in the comments below if your Goodreads looks similar to mine. Do you agree with some of these books that I included in this list, or do you disagree? Definitely let me know and we can chat in the comments. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. I love filming these types of videos. I think they're so fun and they're just a nice little break from like reading vlogs or vlogs in general that can kind of get repetitive for me to film. So these little sit downs are just a nice break for me. Again, I just really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you a part of my little community here on YouTube, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.